word that comes to mind is static. I'd been going to Centerpoint Church for quite some time. I wasn't any different than anybody else in a lot of instances. I think going to church, I made it a priority, but I wasn't living within the church. I had gone through some things emotionally in my life that really impacted me. But for the most part, I thought I had it all together. All the boxes checked. I was set financially, I had a really good job, I didn't really have any issues. But there was always something missing in my life. The one thing that happened in that season of my life is the enemy had convinced me that I was to be static instead of God's will, which is to be still. And the biggest difference is being still is being in God's presence, and being static is being put where the enemy wants you to. I had been put into a desert. I had put myself into the desert where I was not hearing from God. Nothing good was happening. I was living a reactionary life prior to my rooted experience. The best example that I could give is I recently bought a pickup in February, and it's interesting, once you're looking for a vehicle or you buy a new vehicle, all of a sudden you start seeing that vehicle all over the place. It isn't because Ford decided to mass produce a whole bunch of F-150s and drop them into Boise. The reason why I started noticing my pickup everywhere is because I started to seek them. I began to change my focus because it's something that I owned, and I began to seek it. That is what God did in my life after Rooted, is I began to seek. Once your heart starts to change, you start seeing things in the world, everyday life, doors open and opportunities come to you that were literally right in front of your nose. And you never even saw it because your heart wasn't into it and you were just going through the motions. But once you begin to seek God, He ends up revealing to you little pieces in your life, little purposes, and the little things are what mattered. And every single day, you have the opportunity to impact somebody by the way that you act, by the way that you speak. And that is what happens when you seek God and He changes your heart. Behind that purpose is your peace. Being still doesn't mean that you can just go through the motions. Being still means you need to be in the presence of God. That's the largest realization that I came to in my Rooted experience. And consequently, my heart has been filled and I have a desire to serve. And once you begin to serve others, you begin opening other doors in your life. And frankly, Centerpoint Church is alive and the presence of God is very real in Centerpoint. And my advice to everybody would be to seek Him.